Preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and the other words in a sentence. Today we are going to learn some more prepositions. Your suitcase is on the bed. So which is the preposition in the sentence? It is on. On is telling us where the suitcase is. It is on the surface of the bed. When we talk about on, we are talking about something being on top or on the surface. Now let's see another sentence. Your suitcase is upon the bed. Now when we use upon is another preposition, and upon tells us that something is on top of something. Here we can see that the suitcase is on top of the bed. So we can say that the suitcase is upon the bed. So on and upon both are prepositions and they both have the same meaning in the sentence, which means something is kept on top of something else. The nuclear bomb test has had a disastrous effect upon the environment. So the preposition in the sentence is upon. When we use upon, here it doesn't mean something is on top of, but here it means it produces result. So this nuclear bomb test has produced a disastrous effect on the environment. We can also say this in another way. The nuclear bomb test has had a disastrous effect on the environment. So, what do we mean when we use the preposition on? We mean the same thing. We mean the result it has produced. So, we can see that both these prepositions have the same meaning. The purse is upon the dining table. So the preposition in this sentence is upon. Here is the purse and it is on the dining table, which means the purse is on top of the dining table and it is at rest. It's just kept over there. So we have used upon in this sentence. Now let's check another sentence. My father tossed his purse dash the dining table. So, can we write upon over here? Now let's see the picture. We can see that father is tossing the purse. He's tossing it on the dining table. So there's a movement involved from the hand to the dining table. There's some amount of movement. When we use the preposition upon, we mean that something is simply kept on the table. There is no movement involved. It is just on top of something. But we can see very clearly in this picture that there's a movement involved. Therefore, we cannot use upon. Now, which preposition can we use in such a case? Let's see. We will use onto. Onto is another preposition which shows a movement like this picture. This means you're tossing it on the table. So there's a movement involved. So we can see that this preposition is made up of on and to. So it is kept on a surface and there is a movement involved. Therefore, whenever we use onto, it is kept on a surface, but some movement is involved. The passengers got onto the train. Now the preposition here is onto. And we can see in this picture that the passengers are getting inside the train. So again, they are moving from one place to the other. There's a sense of movement involved. Therefore, we have used the preposition onto in this sentence. So we have seen that when we use onto, we talk about a movement and something moving to a surface. The cat jumped onto the sofa. So the preposition here is onto. And if we look at this picture, we can see that the cat is jumping and there's a movement involved. It was on the floor, and from the floor it is jumping onto the surface of the sofa. Therefore, we have used the preposition onto. Now let's check another example. The dog jumped dash the water. Now we can see in this picture that the dog is jumping somewhere. So there's a movement involved. Can we say that the dog jumped onto the water? If we say the dog jumped onto the water, we are talking about a movement which is happening. But when we use onto, we mean jumping or moving onto a surface. Over here, there is no surface that the dog is moving into. So therefore, we cannot use onto for such a sentence. So what is the correct preposition for such a sentence? Let's see. It is into. The dog jumped into the water. When we use the preposition into, we mean that there's a movement involved, a motion is involved, and it is happening from one point and somebody or something is jumping inside something or in something. When we talk about such a movement, then we use the preposition into. So we can see very clearly in these two sentences, when we talk about onto, we mean that it is moving on the surface. But when we talk about into, we mean that something is moving into it from outside and it is moving inside now. The porcelain teapot broke into pieces. So the preposition is into here. Now when we say into, do we mean jumping or movement over here? It's a movement, but it is not talking about moving inside something. But here into has a completely different usage. When we say into, here we mean that it is getting removed or it is breaking or it is taken away, separation. Put the toys into the box. So the preposition is into. When we say into the box, means there's a movement involved. So something was outside and now we are keeping it within an enclosed area. Here in this case, we are keeping it inside this box. So when we use the preposition into, there's a movement involved and it is moving from outside to inside. Now let's see another sentence. She is sitting upon a chair. The preposition here is upon. Now when we see the picture, we notice that this girl is sitting on the surface of the chair. So what preposition can we use here? We will use upon, which means that she's just sitting on the surface. There's nothing happening, no movement as such. But when we say into, means there's a movement involved. Something is moving inside. Now, we can also say this sentence in another way. She is sitting on a chair. So, on is the preposition here. And it means that on a surface, on top of something. So, we see that upon and on, they both have the same meaning. But we are talking about something being at rest. There's no movement involved when we are using on and upon in such examples. Now let's fill in the blank with the correct preposition. There is a flower vase, dash the table. The options are upon and onto. Now let's check the picture. So here is the table. And this is the vase that we are talking about. So we can see that the vase is kept on the surface of the table. So can we say onto? When we talk about onto, there's a movement involved. Here there is no movement involved. Therefore, the preposition that we are going to use here will be upon. There is a flowers upon the table. The penguins dived dash the icy water. The options are into and upon. We can see in the picture that the penguins are diving inside somewhere. So there's a movement involved and from outside to inside. Therefore, which preposition are we going to use? We will use into. We will not use upon because something is moving. When we use upon, we mean something is at rest. So the penguins dived into the icy water. The goods were loaded dash the truck. The options are over and onto. So when we say that the goods were loaded dash the truck, we can see that the goods were not inside the truck, they were outside. So they are being loaded, which means there's a motion involved. When there is a motion involved, then we use the preposition onto, and it is being loaded on the surface of the truck. So we will use this preposition. The goods were loaded onto the truck. Today we have learned some more uses of prepositions. There are many other prepositions which we will learn soon. Meanwhile, you can try using the prepositions you have learned today in sentences of your own to see if you've understood the concept clearly. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can register for free at deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged, and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You can also win amazing prizes like PlayStation, iPad, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.